Hey guys, welcome back to Think Beautiful, the channel where I discuss all things Meghan Markle, Prince Harry, the royal family, but mostly the debacle that is Meghan Markle because I just can't help myself. But in this episode, I want to talk about King Charles because an article came out about his funeral and it's obviously not planned as yet. They're just, I guess, thinking about in the future, and this was something I had thought about a couple of weeks ago, and I just didn't see this angle coming. So let's get into this article. This is in the Telegraph. Now, just quickly, I am going to read through this article, but I have taken out a couple of paragraphs because I felt like they went on a bit of a tangent, to be honest. So I am just going to read out my edited version. I haven't changed any words or anything like that. But let's get to this. Prince Harry and Meghan at the heart of King's funeral plans. Monarch's hopes for final ceremony show how closely he is thinking of youngest son and California-based grandchildren. Now, this shocked me straight up because honestly, do we really think that Prince Harry and Meghan are going to be at the heart of the funeral plans? And will they even show up? Does Prince Harry even like his father? I just don't even know these days. But let's get into this. There has been increasing talk of olive branches. Oh, do we have to say the word olive branches? Honestly, that thing is dead. It's just the roots left, seriously. And reconciliation between the King and Prince Harry. Much of it has been conveyed on the Duke of Sussex's side, at least, of course, because he doesn't keep his mouth shut, through television interviews, his emotion, his emotion, anger and frustration on full display. Yeah, tell me about it. From Buckingham Palace, there has been little said on the record. Beyond the occasional frustrated shrug, royal aides have kept their counsel, determined not to fan the flames of this deeply personal rift in public. But behind the scenes, the king is very much hopeful that he will be reunited with Prince Harry and that he might still build a relationship with his two California based grandchildren. Now, I don't doubt that King Charles still wants to see his grandchildren. Of course he does. But there is just so much mess involved that these two, Harry and Meghan, have created to even allow that to happen. So I don't know what he's thinking when he says these things. But anyway, let's keep going. Opportunities would seem to present themselves at the next iteration of the Duke's Invictus Games, which nobody wants to attend, due to take place in Birmingham in 2027, and the King's 80th birthday celebrations the following year. I didn't realise that. Given that set piece royal events are planned years in advance, it is possible to cast the net further into the unknown. Indeed, the Telegraph can reveal that the King has factored not only the Duke, but the Duchess of Sussex and their two children, Prince Archie, 6, and Princess Lilibet, 3, into the heart of his funeral plans. Isn't Lilibet 4 now? I'm forgetting how old she is. Anyway, so that is basically letting us know that he is absolutely going to include them in the plans. Will they take it up? Only time will tell. Whenever the time comes, the monarch is adamant that his youngest son take his rightful place at the center of his family, perhaps mindful of that final chance to create family harmony. I don't think that would be the reason why. I don't think everyone is going to be hugging and, making up and all these things just because someone has passed away. It doesn't really work like that. You would absolutely pull your head in on the day, but I don't think that there's going to be some kind of family harmony. I think that's probably a bit of a stretch there. There is no suggestion that the king's reign will not continue for many more years. Yeah, disclaimer there because they're talking about it. So they're thinking, well, we better just say that this is not actually going to happen soon. Planning for such set-piece ceremonial events begins sometimes decades in advance, evolving over time through briefings with senior representatives from the royal household, the police, the military, and the church. I mean, I would hate to think that people are planning my funeral decades in advance. My goodness. The Telegraph understands that the Sussexes remain enveloped in the King's funeral plans at the highest level. I wouldn't have Meghan Markle anywhere near anything important. With the Duke expected to walk side by side with his brother, by then the King, at the forefront of the sombre processions through the streets of central London. Now, I'm just going to pause there for a second, because the second that William becomes king, okay, so King Charles has passed away. William is now the king. Do you think, I want to know your thoughts on this, do you think Harry would even be able to stand being next to William at that time? I mean, the jealousy is already off the scale. You know, that is part of his issue. Clearly, it's a big part of it, really. But to be able to even stand next to his brother, I think it would just kill him so much inside. I don't think he would even be able to do it. I think this is putting a lot of pressure on Harry, to be honest, forcing him to do something that he just is not comfortable doing. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex will be invited to take part in the family vigil during the lying in state at Westminster Hall and play a prominent role alongside the most senior royals during the funeral service. I mean, this is going to be the most awkward funeral you've ever seen. I mean, everyone's going to be looking at this. They are going to distract massively from the event. You have to admit that they are just going to be, or especially Meghan, is going to be looking for the camera. There's going to be the one tear. It's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be an absolute debacle. Arrangements have also been made for Prince Archie and Princess Lily, I'll just say Lily, sorry, the King's youngest grandchildren, to attend the funeral service at Westminster Abbey, as well as the committal at St. George's Chapel, Windsor, should they wish. So he's basically saying they can all be involved. I'll give them really important duties, and I want them to be there and they're part of the family. But I mean, this just makes things so awkward. So awkward for William, for Catherine, for anyone who has had to deal with these two over the years. I mean, I struggle with King Charles sometimes. I really do. I understand this day is for him, but he's just, I don't know, is he doing the right thing here? I mean, I guess he is, but it's going to be awful. Now, we saw how terrible these two were after the Queen passed. I mean, were they mic'd up? Did we even get to the bottom of that? Did Meghan have a mic on her? Because it certainly looked like she did, for sure. Harry also looked like he was mic'd up. Maybe that wasn't this event, but it certainly was another event. So these two, in my opinion, just cannot be trusted. So there's that. Then, of course, nobody likes them, which is completely, everyone would understand why. Completely understandable. Then you've got Catherine, who clearly hasn't been well. She's going to have to be putting up with all of this as well. Not that this is happening anytime soon, but I'm just saying she's been through a lot. She doesn't need this type of stress in the lead up to it. You've got William, who will just want to get on with it. Harry will probably make a stupid remark. I mean, this is going to be an insane event. I can't wait to see it, but I also don't want it to happen because, of course, I wouldn't wish this. Buckingham Palace aides insisted that the King's funeral plans had not been finalised and cautioned against speculation. Well, you're telling us what's happening, so we're just speculating based on the article. The King, who is still undergoing weekly cancer treatment, maintains a full work schedule with planning underway for engagements and events well into the future. That is insane. Undergoing weekly cancer treatment, but still working full time. I mean, why? Why? I mean, that's just insane. Hand the baton over would be my advice. The inclusion of the Sussexes in the plans, however, will prove a talking point. Yeah, you don't say. You don't say. Their involvement, not just throughout the public facing ceremonial elements, but behind the scenes in briefings and rehearsals, will avoid further rupturing relations with the couple. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex are thought to have returned home on the day after Elizabeth II's funeral, feeling more ostracised than ever, as ever, their new status in the general hierarchy having been made abundantly clear. Yes, well, that's what you wanted, isn't it? Isn't that what you wanted, Harry and Meghan? You didn't want to be involved. So, why then suddenly feel ostracized? I mean, seriously, talk about playing the victim. Barely on speaking terms with several of their closest relatives, the lack of communication between Buckingham Palace and their own office, which is like a sham office, was blamed for various dramas, from a mistaken invitation to a state reception to confusion over military uniforms, not to mention differing versions of exactly when Prince Harry learned of his grandmother's death. I mean, the whole thing is just blurry, doesn't make any sense. Clearly, the problem is Harry and Meghan. At the King's coronation 8 months later, the Duke cut a lonely peripheral figure. He made a dash straight from Westminster Abbey to the airport, oh, such a twat, opting not to join the rest of his family, thank goodness, for lunch at Buckingham Palace, and was not in any of the official portraits. Oh, I mean, that's a great day, isn't it? They must be so happy. They've saved a bucket load in photoshopping. I mean, they were going to put him on the end anyway. Let's be honest. You would have put him on the end, wouldn't you? But they didn't even have to worry about that. So he just helped them out, really. Anyway, not in any of the official portraits that captured the moment for the history books. I mean, that's just rude, though, to be honest. I mean, even though they would have cut him out. But it's rude that he didn't even bother to show this was his father's coronation, which is a huge deal. We all know that King Charles was waiting, or Prince Charles at the time was waiting and waiting and waiting for this day. This was his thing. He waited so long. I think some people felt sorry for him. I mean, I didn't, but some people might have, because his mum just did not abdicate. But, there was obviously a good reason for that. But yeah, I mean, just rude, just so rude. So why even bother extending an olive branch now at the funeral? Why bother? Seriously, the guy is just disrespectful. The Duke was said to have been determined to make it back to the family home in Montecito in order to kiss his son, Prince Archie, goodnight on his fourth birthday. Yeah, and then never be anywhere near his birthday ever again anyway. So, I mean, that's just a lie. But let's just remember how Prince Harry was behaving at the King's coronation, because there are some great photos of this. I mean, look at this face. I've never seen Harry do this face ever before, and he'll never do it again, because this is the fakest smile. This is a hello, how are you, hate you, that just says I hate you all over it. It's just facetious. It's just he needs, I shouldn't say it anyway, he needs someone to sort him out. Let's just put it that way. It's annoying. It's everything. It's not a face you do, all right? It's it's unusual, and it shouldn't have happened. And here's another one. Look at him, orcs, completely orcs. Look at him. Ooh, I mean, what is that face? I mean, he's just being a complete twat. He knew the camera was on him. He was just pulling faces and just being a right idiot. But thank goodness for Princess Anne, because this hat needs to be in a museum somewhere, because we actually didn't have to see him at all throughout the service because of this feather. It is just an award-winning design. I mean, the perfect height. He's turned a little bit there and she's got her head down, but ultimately it blocked his face. It was just genius, you would say. I mean, since the invention of the wheel, this hat really takes the cake for sure. Now, there's a little bit in here about bringing his family together. So we'll keep going by putting aside any differences and signing off plans that place the Sussexes at the heart of his funeral. They're not going to be at the heart, seriously. The king will ensure that his final public act brings his family together. Oh, begrudgingly. While the Duke has vowed never to bring his family back to the UK unless he can guarantee full police protection, oh, puts his foot down, doesn't he? They would automatically be enveloped into the official security operation for such a state occasion. Yes, and you can't use that as an excuse, Meghan. All right, but Meghan, please just do the right thing and stay home with the kids, please. Please, just for once in your life, make the right decision. Maybe there's some as ever product coming out or something that you just can't leave California for. Elizabeth II's death marked the first time in history that the grandchildren of a monarch had taken part in ceremonial events that followed. All eight, from Peter Phillips, the eldest at 44, to James Viscount Severn, the youngest at 14, stood vigil around her coffin as she lay in state at Westminster Hall. That was amazing to see, I just have to say. At the King's request, Prince Harry wore military uniform for the first time since 2020 because otherwise he would have looked ridiculous. That's why. That's the only reason. Not because, Prince Harry, oh, okay, you can wear it, you deserve it. Oh, no. You'll look stupid. It will look disrespectful. Just put it on, okay? Put it on, you idiot. The cousins stood in silence with their heads bowed as members of the public continued to file past. Gosh, I wish I could have gone. If you were there, guys, if anyone listening was there and walked past, oh my goodness, please tell me in the comments. I want to hear all about it. Post a really, really long comment, please. I want to read everything. The family vigil following the King's funeral is likely to look rather different, not least owing to the relatively young ages of his grandchildren. While Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis, currently 11, 10, and 7, will almost certainly be involved in some of the most public facing elements of the mourning period, they would be shielded from certain duties. Prince Louis, then 4, did not join his elder siblings at Elizabeth II's funeral. Prince Archie and Princess Lily, while factored into current plans as the grandchildren of the monarch, may similarly be considered too young or simply not equipped to be thrust into the global spotlight in such circumstances. I would say both of those. Too young. I mean, even if this happens in a few years, they're still very young. And generally, you would suggest that they would have been maybe seen in public before being on television around the world. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. It is not fair for them, to be honest, and absolutely not equipped. Absolutely not equipped. They don't even know anything about the royal family. Could they even pick the royal family out in a lineup? I don't think so. Have they ever even met King Charles? I mean, that's debatable, to be honest. Certainly, they wouldn't remember meeting him either way. So, I mean, it would be totally inappropriate. Obviously, Meghan would be there. That's just inappropriate in itself. So, I guess involving them on paper looks good, but that's just not going to happen. Surely they'll be at home with the nanny. Even if Meghan stays in California, they'll still be at home with the nanny, let's be honest. Similarly, younger members of the King's family, such as Zara and Mike Tyndall's children, Mia 10, Lucas 6, and I think that's meant to be Lena 3. Princess Beatrice's daughters Sienna 3 and Athena 6 months. I'd love to see Sienna. I don't think I've seen a good picture of Sienna. And stepson Wolfie 8. And Princess Eugenie's sons August 4 and Ernest 2 are likely to have been factored in but may not be involved. During planning for royal funerals, each member of the family is given a different bridge-themed codename. As heir to the throne, the king's plans were codenamed Operation Menai Bridge, while his elder sons were Operation Clare Bridge. Prince William's plans are now codenamed Menai Bridge. So, guys, what do you think? I mean, this is a crazy story. It makes sense that King Charles is wanting to involve Harry. I get that. I don't think Meghan needs to be involved. I really don't. I mean, that just makes no sense to me for many, many reasons. Basically, all of my videos will explain the reasons why. The grandchildren, I get, extend it, but not appropriate. But would they even be bothered to show up? And will we have to see this tear coming out of the left eye again? I mean, that was just insane. So guys, please let me know your thoughts. Please like and subscribe, and I will keep these videos coming. Thank you so much. Bye.